let's get into it. First things first, super cool to see how bullish this overall market is. Once again, 653 did its job. We ended up pulling all the way back, and now we are breaking outside of this range and channel above 673. So you guys know on the SPY and on the Qs, I've been hawking this thing like a hawk. This is the A plus opportunity. So I've been waiting for like 3 weeks to catch this trade, especially on the Qs. So like I said, normally I don't trade the SPY and the Qs unless there's nothing else going on the tech names, but I will be looking for a break and retest over 673 on the SPY. This is the A plus opportunity. I'm gonna go here on the daily. A lot of good setups today. Don't confuse yourself, right? Less is more. Only have two solid names you're looking at and focus on that. But this is the dip buy, right? This 673. I've been looking for this. Came, consolidation, we got above. Give me one sec. Got above, pulled all the way back. And then I've been telling you about this bull flag on the daily. This is where I want to get in. So super solid here, setting up on the SPY. So for me today, 673 is really my key level here. If we want to stay heavy and pull back to 667, that's expected. Why? Because we have a gap. We gapped up. So just be mindful of that. Well, this will be out after that happens, but if this does pull back and you're wondering why, it's because we have a gap. So it would just be a gap fill. Qs. I mean, this is beautiful. This is exactly what I want to see. I want to see this key level have this type of reaction on the dot. So I'm really looking for 612, 80, break and retest coming into market open. So this is definitely going to be on my close watch list. Qs, Tesla. So we're sitting above 410. So I'm very open to playing a pullback long off of 410. This is right off the pre-market game plan. We can see it's holding that support during the pre-market. Clearly see that. So if this thing just wants to open up and rip to the upside, keep in mind we already got that break and retest. So that's why. But for me, I'm looking for this on Tesla, or really be this at open. But I've already, taught you guys, sometimes we get the retest during the pre-market, and when we open, this thing just wants to rocket to the upside. So definitely we'll be watching Tesla and then NVIDIA. So clearly see NVIDIA is using my 195.60 key level as support. I love to see it. I'm open to, hopefully we get a pop and then a pullback and then continuation higher. But you're really just playing pullback longs. I mean, you can clearly see we gapped up. So I'm just looking for pullback longs here on NVIDIA. The IV's most likely going to be high, so I'm open to not even touching this if my other play is set up at open. So we'll see. Apple setting up here. If I can get a break and retest outside of this channel, that is solid. Yeah, if I can get a break and retest over 671.40, that is solid. I mean, we'll be outside of this channel. I'll go here on the 1 hour, right? We don't want to be in there. So break and retest over 271.40, targeting top of this range seems super solid. So I definitely will be watching this on Apple. If we stay in between here, I'm hands off. The only two key levels I'm looking to go long off of is 271.40 or 264.05. So we got a lot of plays setting up here during the pre-market. And then AMD, nothing from me on AMD, but we are bullish bias now. You can clearly see we ended up gapping up with everything else, and now we're sitting back above 225. So we are bullish bias now. If this thing was to break over 242.80, then I'll look at it, but the IV on this has been so high. So it's pretty much my pre-market game plan coming into today. Okay, I'm all set up here. Got about 9 minutes now into market opens. So giving a little breakdown. If NVIDIA just wants to chop around, I'm really not going to touch this name. I'm going to need some clean, good price action. It's a Thursday, so these contracts will be pretty volatile all across the board. So most likely I'm going to play at the money. My two favorite setups that's really occurring is Tesla and Qs. Now, the reason for Tesla, I broke this down very thoroughly yesterday, is why I want to see this range turn into support. So this looks textbook. That is textbook. We're outside of this channel. Nothing in here. We spent about 3 to 4 days in here. Like I said, I took the shot yesterday 8 times out of 10. It works. Yesterday, the probabilities weren't in my favor because overall market was pulling back. This looks super solid. Now, if we don't get this pullback, right, that's expected, just because we already got this retest during the pre-market. I'll see what the price action looks like, if we do break over 419, right? I mean, we could target this and then see if we can get some continuation, but, we would be back in this very large channel. So I'll really have to read that and see, we can get a pullback longer for 410. I don't mind, playing that, targeting 419. You can see we already did that on Monday. That looks like a super solid setup. That's a $19 gap. That's a good RR trade. I'm open to that. Really got to read the price action over 419 just because I want to be back in that. But we are bullish buys now on Tesla, Apple. Really just waiting. Really just waiting. There's nothing going on right now. And then Qs. Qs is cooking. And then what I love about the correlation of QQQ and SPY is, let me go here on SPY. There's nothing in its way, right? SPY can get over 673, it's nothing in its way. So I'm not really concerned about SPY hitting a resistance level causing Qs to also pull back. So that's a really solid setup that I do like here on Qs. So we'll see. Like I said, this thing can open and just pull back. We have a very big gap fill. You can see our key level got respected here on the dot during the pre-market after hours. Yeah, it was actually at 2:14 a.m. So that was during the pre-market. So that's solid. And we do have orange folder news at 7 a.m. I don't expect that to do anything to the tech names, but definitely some type of movement on the overall market, like spine cues. So got about 5 minutes here until the market opens. So you can see right now, Tesla is already running to the upside. Just showing you this, because like I've taught you, sometimes that break and retest occurs during the pre-market. There's really nothing you can do about it. So, whenever we open up and rip to the upside, we're not necessarily just ripping to the upside. We already got a retest. We already got a retest. And you can see, we're actually stair stepping, trending higher, which is solid. So, if we don't get that pullback, that's fine. I'll be looking at the price action to see what we do over 419.10. On Thursdays, I play defense on Tesla because those contracts move very aggressively, very, very aggressively. So that being said, typically I'll probably play, either at the money cons or sometimes two strike prices in the money on Tesla. So that's really the game plan here. We got about 2 minutes and 30 seconds till market opens. Apple looks like it wants to start popping up, which is solid. Nvidia, I'm not liking that. See that? I'm not liking that. So if this thing wants to just chop around, I wouldn't be surprised. We gapped up so high back to the top of the range. I'm really gonna be patient on Nvidia, but as of now, since Tesla's ripping, my main watch here is really gonna be QQQ. About 15 seconds. Ended up switching this to Qs. Okay, Apple just rocketed through that. Clear divergence on Apple. Okay, nice. Like I said, really the market could just be filling this gap. It's really the only one with clear divergence right now. These are all gap fills. Tesla's actually really strong too. There's some divergence here on Tesla. So look at Apple, it's crazy. Okay, so there's some divergence here on SPY. SPY's already ripping through 673. Yeah, a lot more relative strength on SPY compared to the Qs. Very volatile here on Apple, so it's gonna be patient. Like I just said, pre-market, we can't be surprised if this thing just wants to, if the overall market and everything wants to pull back, because everything gapped up. Everything gapped up. So we know we're not looking to short, we're just looking for pullback longs. Tencent has a lot of relative strength right now. Not a single down on candle. So if we can get over this 419, solid. Nvidia's just filling a gap. Pull back to better. Nvidia could pull all the way back down here to just 190. That's a weekly level. That's solid. A lot of relative strength here on Tesla. Another single down close candle. So SPY is holding over 673, but we're just like basing right now. I need like way more displacement here on Tesla. So SPY retested 673, perfect. So I just need more displacement here on Tesla. Doing nothing right now on Qs. Like I taught you, if price sits in between the first 5 minute high and low, it's really doing nothing. If Apple wants to give us a pullback, and I see buyer step up here. That's solid too. That's good though. SPY's sitting above 673, so we're finally outside of that channel. Tesla's trying to hold this, but I just need, like, I want to see how this candle closes. You can see we're pushing. Every time we push, there's sellers sitting up here. Okay. Solid here on Tesla. Like the price action stays like this on this, I'm gonna skip this. Nothing on the video. Okay, this looks good on Tesla. Apple already back near the high day, at the high day. I want to see what Tesla does. Everything's pushing. Clear divergence on Apple. Very aggressive entry there. It's really trying to be patient. This is like that the market's pulling back, and so is Tesla. Yeah, I don't like that. Tesla's trying to hold though. It's just not the cleanest price action. Technically, this is holding. I'm not a fan of this price action. See that? Like it's holding, but I don't like that. It's very wicky up here. See that? I'm not a fan of that. Look at all these wicks. Seller sitting there. I mean, we know we're bullish bias, but yeah, I skipped that trade due to the conditions. I just did not like that. It's pretty much in sync with the Qs. When Qs pop, Tesla pops. And Qs is pulling back, so I don't really like that. Nvidia doing nothing. It's kind of the same trade I took yesterday. Like I sat in this until we got the high day push, looking for more, but there's no follow through. So just gotta be patient here. Yeah, if I can get like one more pullback, fine. I'm hoping that after 7 a.m., you know, Qs does something. That's kind of like what I'm hoping for. Uh, I just skipped this trade intentionally just because I did not like this price action. That was a perfect retest. You see, we pulled back on the dot and got this spike. That was a solid retest. I'm really looking at Qs over the 612.80. Really looking at Qs here. NVIDIA's trying to recover. I wonder what the IB is on NVIDIA. 74. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. That was a retest. I just ended up skipping that trade. Never got a retest here on Apple. QQQ's just consolidating. I'm really hoping we kind of get this breakout. I want to look at, yeah, SPY did. SPY's kind of have the same price action, but SPY has broken and retested 673 and it's holding above that. So Q's is just basing here. The wait and see. We'll see if NVIDIA can get back over 195.60. If so, I like it. It's decent recovery now. We pushed all the way to 192.30. Right now, price is sitting at 194.18. So we'll see. Super solid retest here on Tesla. I just know it's a Thursday. Those contracts move aggressive. I didn't like the price action, so I skipped it. I'm a risk manager before I'm a trader. All right, so Tesla's gone. Tesla's definitely gone. If it comes back to 419, I'll be a little shocked. I'm really just watching Qs here. I'm making the assumption that this nothing probably won't happen until like after 7 a.m. But you can see Qs is obviously consolidating. It's just stuck in between the first 5-minute candle. Two solid days in a row on Apple, just very, very strong. Very strong. Yeah. Not shocked here on the video just because I mean this is all I got. This is all I got. So not really shocked here at all. Look at that. Solid on Tesla. No FOMO there. None at all. I did not like that price action here. Not at all. Not one bit. So as of now, SPY and the Qs are really just sitting sideways. Really just sitting sideways. It pays. I'm being very patient here. Being very patient. What I'm hoping for, there's two ways I'm kind of reading this on the Qs. This is a channel. This is a channel. So we could just get a blow off top and this thing not come back. If you caught this break and retest over Tesla, you're paid right now. Almost a $5 move. Super solid. Just on this momentum push alone. Today is the 20th. So SPY and the Qs are in sync for sure. SPY did his job. SPY broke and retested 673 perfectly. So if you caught that, kudos to you. If you got that trade, you really had zero drawdown, to be honest. I want to see if NVIDIA could definitely recover here. I definitely like NVIDIA over 195.60. Apple gone. Solid break and retest here on Tesla. SPY is a little bit stronger for sure. SPY is definitely a little bit stronger than the Qs. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, buyer step up aggressively. You can see every time we push into this. So if we can get a break and retest of this 195.60, there's a lot of thin volume in there. There's a lot of thin volume. Apple's gone. Apple opened up 270. We're sitting at 275. Almost a $5 move on Apple. It's crazy. Yeah. Being very patient. And if I don't catch a trade today, that is fine. That is fine. Tesla is set up nice, but I did not like how it was moving with QQQ as Qs was rejecting 612.80, and then we were falling to the downside. I did not like that. You can see buyer stepped up. Look at the wicks on the 2 minute. Buyer stepped up aggressively at that 419.10. I just didn't like it, so I skipped it. My main watch here really is Qs. Qs. And then also want to see if NVIDIA can give us a recovery. We'll see. All right, it's definitely trying. Seeing like this built up liquidity here on Qs. The 612.80 is strong, bro. Look at that. The 612.80 is strong. It really, really is. Sorry, folks. I know I've been muted, but I haven't said anything. I'm just reading. I'm looking at QQQ and NVIDIA. It's the main two I'm watching right now. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Got about 30 seconds to see how this candle closes. I need this candle to close a bit higher. If you caught Tesla, super solid. But like I said, if we're over 410, we're bullish bias. We know that. We know that. SPY's pulling back heavy right now. Very, very heavy. SPY's pulling back very heavy. Kind of got a late fill. Stopped out there on the Qs. Took my shot. Scaled down there, 10,000. I know I was looking for a breakout retest over this 613. I know I had to give this a little, I'm sorry, over 612. I had to give it a little bit more room. Waited for the proper displacement, candle closure here. Solid. Playing my trade, trading my plan. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, just not ready. SPY pulling back very heavy. Let's see. Let's see. SPY is really the main one. SPY did give us our break and retest over 673. Very solid. Solid break, retest, that's solid. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, nothing on AMB. Yeah, main setup today was Tesla. Yeah, the video looks terrible. All right, go in with this. Oh, it's not too bad. So what you see here on the cues, one sec. Let's go on the daily. All right, we're just in here. We're just in here. Strong resistance level. Just gonna get above it. We're stuck in this channel. SPY was solid though. If you came into today and you caught SPY, you're looking for a break and retest over SPY, very solid. Good displacement, pullback retest, solid. Like I said, you can see there's some divergence here on the SPY and the Qs a little bit. Let's see. 710 for me. So we shall see. Yeah. SPY looks good, man. Look at this. It's really holding at 673. It's really holding at 673. Let's see. Uh, yeah, SPY looks really, really good. It's defending the 673 beautifully. So you can kind of see there's like some divergence here on the SPY and on Qs. Qs pretty much consolidated at open, and then we got the break over the top. But then you can see SPY pretty much the price action wasn't that clean at open, but we were moving higher. You can clearly see that we were moving higher. Sure, we were stuck in between the first 5 minute candle as well. Ended up breaking. But you got a solid retest here. This thing shot up all the way to 675. Super solid. Solid trade for me here on the Qs. Plan my trade my plan, but I was looking at this on the 5 minute as well. Give me one sec. And I like that we broke over, we retested, and then this was also forming a hammer stick candle. So that was like perfect to me. I scaled down tremendously to give that a little bit more room. So this was the one, no regrets there. I did not like that price action on there, and I was not scaling down on Tesla. So those contracts were very aggressive. If you know, you know. On a Thursday, Tesla damn near moves like it's a Friday. So not messing around with that. Solid trade. Really nothing else button up. Yeah, the main, I would say, out of the two between SPY and the Qs is really SPY today. I like the Qs just because every tech name was really moving to the upside. but maybe, just maybe, um, NVIDIA being very heavy is what's causing Qs to pull back. As you know, NVIDIA is strong enough to move the market itself. So maybe that's it. Actually, let me look at this. Yeah, NVIDIA is heavy. NVIDIA is very heavy. We're almost back towards the lower day right now. So yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. You can see the clear divergence here on Tesla, on Apple, and then uh, let's see. It's pretty much it for me. You guys know me, one trade a day, win or lose, walk away. So, yeah, like this is NVIDIA right now. It's just pulling the keys back. Well, Promise, no, we had a crazy V-shaped recovery, but now that we're looking at it, we just broke and retested 195.60. Like I said, this thing still has a crazy gap fill. We know we're bullish bias. It's a very large gap here. So tomorrow, this possibly could be the setup. You can see every time we push up into 195.60, sellers just step in aggressively. So this is a key level. If we can get a break and retest over that, this is solid. And this is my A plus opportunity actually. So we'll see. Hmm. Just trying to read something. Solid on Tesla, right off our key level. These were some crazy candles, so I was not messing with that. So yeah, just a choppy day, really for the Qs. Really for the Qs. You can see we're holding this lower day. You can see we're definitely trying to hold this. Well, we are holding the lower day, but really just stuck in between, right? This first candle. So not only is it our opening print candle, it's our 5 minute high, 5 minute low. So statistically speaking, if price ever stays in between that first 5 minute candle, we're just gonna chop. So this looked really solid. I was very happy with this. It's very patient. I saw a buyer step up on this candle. On the 5 minute, looked really, really good too. I would 100% take that shot again. 100%. Tesla's trending, holding structure, solid. Apple gave us a strong breakout. We just never got a retest. And then what is SPY doing? Yeah, honestly, today was SPY's day, not Q's. Today was definitely SPY's day, not the Q's. Look at that. 673 on the dot, even on the 2 minute. 673 that's the candle there. Solid. 7:20 for me. I'm gonna close shop at 7:30, about 10 minutes. Super solid day. Playing my trade, trading my plan. I was a risk manager here on Teslas. No regrets here. Easy to say in hindsight. In the moment, we're consolidating. We're shooting up, we're shooting down. These were big wicks, big candles. That's very volatile. So I was very patient there. To me, it just wasn't worth the risk, especially it started to pull back with the Qs. I wasn't fond of that. So no regrets there. Right? It's a Thursday. So towards the end of the week, I'm on defense because these contracts move very aggressive. Very aggressive. So I'm not giving these stops as much room as I would on a Monday or on a Tuesday. You know what I mean? So that's why I skipped that trade. Took my shot on Qs, scaled down 50%. So super solid there. And then what else am I missing? That's pretty much it. We didn't get anything on Apple. We know we're long over 271. Never got a retest. Um, what else? AMD, nothing. NVIDIA, nothing. So the main two names today is really Tesla and SPY. The only two main names today. Really proud of SPY, this 673. Super solid. If you got that today, kudos to you. Could be wrong, but I think no, I'm highly sure it's the case. But I think Q's is just so heavy because NVIDIA is very heavy this morning. I mean, you can clearly see the divergence of all these other tech names compared to NVIDIA. Like I said, expected. We opened up with a very large gap here on NVIDIA. So this thing pulling back, very normal. So 195.60 is setting up in my opinion. Let's see. Crazy. Came all the way back down, gave us a retest again, shot to the upside. So this is what I mean when I say, I mean, you can clearly see the divergence here on, look at Q's, and then look at SPY. Like, big divergence there. I was hoping Q's can like get some continuation just because there's nothing in SPY's way. And SPY was moving higher. SPY has no other key level all the way up until 679.85. So big RR trade there that I took. You know, next key level here is 617. I'll see what happens here with the Qs. I know I'm bullish biased, but probably should have looked at SPY on the 673. Wow. 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 Yeah, if you can SPY today, even on the second opportunity, super solid day. Probably a little hard to sit in that, like these wicks down here with a zero, but that's why you scale down. Tesla, if Qs can reclaim with momentum, then I like it. But it has to be some strong momentum. So you think this is still sitting in between here. The 612.80 is a strong level. Very, very strong level. We know we're bullish bias. Today was a SPY's day. SPY pretty much pushed back all the way up to the top of the range. Super solid. So coming into tomorrow, I'm pretty much hands off on Tesla. Unless we get a pullback to 419.10. But other than that, it's just back in this channel. I have to wait for this candle to close and then reclaim with momentum. On the 5 minute, the last 10 minutes have been very bullish. No go. Yeah, solid trade. Let's see. 613.60. Yeah, so me waiting for this candle to close, that was an 80 cent displacement. That's very big on Qs. Typically on Qs and SPY, I'm looking like maybe a 50 cent plus displacement. So 80 cent was perfect for me. That's perfect. And we pulled back, buyer stepped up, I took my shot. The deeper the pullback, the tighter the risk. I love it. Yeah, that's crazy. The 612 is like a really strong level. It's a really, really strong level. Yeah, I'm just not liking the price action here on Qs. Yeah, I'm not gonna force that. Yeah, I'm not gonna force that. Really like my setup earlier, just because where we ended up getting two 5 minute candle closures above this, right? Because I was looking at this on the 5 minute as well. Give me one sec. Yeah, just a lot of liquidity grabs right now. But nevertheless, I was looking at this on the 5 minute as well for my entry, and I really liked, this candle and this candle. That was beautiful. Like that's exactly what I want to see. You can see every 5 minute candle close green, bullish, upside, hammers the candle entry, spies push in. That was solid. That was really, really solid. If I were to take this again, I would need this candle to close above it. I would definitely need this candle to close. It's very volatile. Remember, I will be playing the reclaim here because we already defended this. We got a break and retest. Buyers tried to hold this up and then we failed. Slow grinder. Yeah, this is a choppy day. Like if you look at it, let's look at it like this, right? Right. This is a choppy day. Low probability environment, right? I gotta understand that. So I'm gonna call it here. Yeah. Yeah, see, it's not even worth it. That's how traders go on tilt. They try and like force a setup again. But the one thing I noticed, because this is exactly what happened when I got stopped out my first time, I'm gonna show you. When SPY pulls back heavy, so does Q. So there is divergence, but you can see when SPY pull back, Q's pulls back. What was this around 704? Look at the 705 candle on SPY. So that's what really dragged me down. Like SPY really dragging the Q's down. So this started at 704. This is the 5 minute time frame. Let me go here. Right, 704. what did SPY do? Pulled all the way back down to 673. That's exactly what happened. So SPY being heavy pretty much pulled me back outside of this trade, and then Nvidia being very heavy itself compared to the techs. Like now it's just consolidating, but we did break and retest, and seller stepped in aggressively, pushing this thing back down to a little intraday support here. What, 192? So this thing went from 195 to 192. So solid day. The only two names that really set up was SPY and Tesla. SPY and Tesla. So if you got Tesla, kudos to you. I like the price action a little bit more on SPY compared to Tesla. At least that's just me. So, but man, look at SPY. That's crazy. This thing pretty much pulled all the way back down to the lower day and pushed all the way back up to the high day. That shows you how strong the 673 is. That is textbook. That's exactly what you want to see. Look at that. That's solid. Got in there in a retest. This thing's, yeah, crazy. That was pretty much 100% pullback. We got almost back to the lower day. Stock 85% with tracement, and then buy stepped up defending that. So that's super cool. Like Q's is trying, but it's just like I just showed you. Like you don't want to be in that. There's nothing in there. Our first shot was okay because we got good displacement. Our key level here is 612.80. The high day is 613.80. So we pretty much got a dollar breakout on the Q. So that's a solid displacement. I took my shot, felt. Hope you guys were able to learn something. Hope you guys had a good day. If you take a loss and it's a good loss, that's a good trade. It's a high probability trade. Remember, you cannot judge your performance as a trader over 1 week, over 1 month, over a handful of days. It has to be over a course of what, a quarter? For me, I really say you have to judge your performance based off 100 trades. That may seem like a lot, but to get accurate data, you got to judge your performance based off 100 trades. So, right, long-term mindset. Long-term mindset. I just want to see what SPY does. I'm fanboying over here. That's just really cool to see. Like, look at that, bro. This thing poured all the way back to 673, and we're already back at the high day. 2, 4, 2, 4, 6. We only had 6 down close candles on a 2-minute time frame. And now we just made a new high day. That's solid. Not really messing with the Qs here still. Right? Could have looked for that reclaim. Maybe if we get like another retest, maybe. But I mean, just look at Qs compared to SPY. It's just not as strong. It's just not as strong. It's like, see, it just can't even really get over this high day. But then again, SPY's rejecting or pulling back, I would say, from its new high day. See that? Like that's many, many years ago. I would have tried this like 4 more times. And you just go and tilt. Like your job is to identify high probability setups. You have to think in terms of probabilities and understand conditions. And you walk away. I promise you, less is more. If you really just focus on dedicating yourself to really one solid trade a day, compound interest, right? Because then if you have one trade a day, and let's say for an example you're on a losing streak, and you get your one solid win, that's gonna make up for 3 days of losses, 4 days of losses. But if you take 3 trades in a day, and you go for 0 for 3, how long is it gonna take you to climb out of that hole? You know what I mean? So I've said this in the past, like a part of my edge in the market is taking one trade. That's like a part of my edge in the market. Hope that makes sense. Solid here on the Qs. It's just since SPY is sitting at the high day, this thing could pull back anytime. Just because obviously it has to pull back in order to start trending. This thing could pull back anytime. I know um, Qs is gonna follow with that. Remove that. And sometimes when I'm a little unsure, I mean, in this case I wasn't unsure, but just a little tip, just get rid of your key levels. Like go to a blank chart and then just draw out some zones like this, and it just helps you get a better visual. Just helps you get a better visual. Does this look like a name that's trending? Does this look like a name that's moving higher or lower? Or does this look like a name that's sitting in a channel? You tell me, sitting in a channel. So when you do something like that, it really does help to like get a better visual. Like I said, I really love to simplify things. solid on Apple. Like, look at the last 2 days on Apple, which is really wild. Haven't got any setups on it. I mean, no surprise. We started Monday and Tuesday, really inside bar day. I mean, you can clearly see Monday and Tuesday, we're sitting in a channel. If you took a long off its 267.10 solid, but see what happens when, we kind of break outside of that channel, which is super, super clean. But this thing pushed back pre-market yesterday, 264. Now we're sitting at 274. So a little bit, almost over $11 on Apple here. And the thing opened up at, let's see, opening price today was 270.81, and we got all the way up to, let's see, 275.43. So Apple's strong. Like I said on the daily, I mean, this honestly is the best looking name. Right, we got the pullback to the bottom of the range yesterday. We just still never filled this gap. You can see we still have this gap fill. We never really retested this 264.05, and our deepest pullback was during pre-market yesterday. It was like our deepest pullback. Okay. All right, folks. Call it here. Hope you guys had a good day. Hope you're having a good week. Hope you're able to learn something, and I will see you all tomorrow.